Hi, my name is Marco, co-host of this podcast with Andres Estrada. So, welcome to the place where we interview successful people and we ask them questions to see how they got where they are by being ordinary people like us. Andres, welcome to the podcast. You're here in the Lost Podcast. How do you feel?
Feel good, man. I'm interested to be on the other end of it
Very
and
nice.
see what you got in store for me.
Awesome. I'm excited. I got a couple questions here. So, you know how this works. Usually, you're on this side asking most of the questions.
Yeah.
But today, if we can reintroduce yourself to anyone that's just joining into the channel, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Andres Estrada. I am the co-host with you right on the podcast, and my main role here at the company is to raise funds as well as to find properties to actually use the funds on. And once we do find them, we need to evaluate them and then actually manage them so that they become that asset that's worth 1 million, turn it into a $5 million asset so our investors make money, so we make money.
Very nice. And how are you liking it?
So far, it's pretty interesting. I'm learning a lot because it's different from houses. It's different from houses. The houses just it's very simple, and I guess there's more people who do it, so it's a more common language.
Mm-hmm.
Multifamily, on the other hand, it's like there's fewer people, and even then, the people in it are much older. So the way they look at things is fully different, and I'm forced into a box. Like, do I have to look at it the way you do to be successful? Or is there a way that the younger generation can look at it to improvise and make it better and make it work for us?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not the same buying a 15 unit property in 1970 as it is in 2025,
Yeah.
2026.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
It's crazy. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but you're actually older than me.
Yeah.
I look a little bit older just from what people have told us. But I wanted to ask you, since you're in this, you explained everything that you're doing right now. Um, you get told a lot. Hey, how old are you? You're a young guy. How
Mhm.
do you usually handle those type of questions? Because you're a young guy doing this. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So I do get the question probably. I used to get it a lot more, maybe like 4 times a week, four
Mm-hmm.
to five times a week, and both with the construction company I work with and in real estate. Um, Now it probably has gone down to maybe once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, obviously, you get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
You first say, um, you ask them, maybe you're like, why, or you'll say, oh yeah, I'm 19. I'm 19.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, what I've been doing, and not necessarily for a specific reason, it's just like I'm very curious to see what people say. I turn it back on them, and I
Mm-hmm.
ask them a question, and I say, well, take a guess. How old do you think I am? And they'll take their guess. They're usually off at least 3 to 4 years, and they think I'm 3 to 4 years older than I actually
Yeah.
am. All right, and they guess. I typically just say, um, I say that's pretty close.
What's the oldest you got in, like, as a guess?
I think 29.
29. So
Yeah,
I think it's just your
29.
persona, your aura that gets
Yeah,
off. Oh, I'm a 19, 20 year old. Okay.
yeah,
You're 22 now, correct?
yeah,
22 now.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And
So,
and they after that, if they did want to know really like what my age was, I'll then ask them like, why did you ask that? And they'll
mm,
say in exactly that. They'll
mm,
say, oh, we just thought. I mean, you seem so knowledgeable, so we just assumed you've been doing this for years. And I'm like, well, technically, yes, right? Since I was 17 is when I started looking into business, and so there was personal development at that
mm,
point started. So technically, it has been 5 years,
mm,
right? But within the business itself that they're seeing, they assumed I've been doing construction for 10 years, and then real
mm,
estate for another
yeah.
6 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm. Well, when girls ask you, you keep it at the
yeah,
29 range.
yeah. I'm like, I'm 20.
Oh,
Age doesn't
okay.
matter. Age doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I'm just playing. But yeah, so I remember in the last podcast we talked about how we all went to the same high school.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk, so I wanted to ask you because you hit me up the way we met. You hit me up on Instagram. You texted
Hmm.
me, "Hey, you're a
Yeah.
young guy. I see you're a realtor too." I was just licensed, 18 years old,
Yeah.
and that's how we met. And you texted me saying, "Hey, let's meet up."
Mm-hmm.
And you actually were texting other guys as well, so we can all form a group, which now eventually
Mm-hmm.
years down the road is led to where we are now on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you is what initially went through your mind when first starting the group
Mm-hmm.
or first starting to reaching out to young guys?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. It's gonna make me go back in time. think we started. You were probably one of the very first I reached out to. It was Diego and you, um, and so that must have been August. I want to say August or July of 2023, and the reason I got to that point was because I had been working on my own up until then for about a year,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of told myself, well, wait a minute, like, I mean, I'm reading all these books and I'm learning all this, I'm meeting these people. What if there was another guy who was meeting different people, reading different books,
Mm.
and then he came and he told me everything about that, and I told him everything about what I did, and and then I added a third guy, and then a
Mm-hmm.
fourth, and then a fifth, and then a sixth, and now there's 10 of us feeding each other, because I only have 168 hours a week. So, but so does Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's doing all this. What's the difference? One of the differences is he's the key individuals he's surrounded by. You do it alone, but you only get so far.
Yeah,
You
for
always
sure.
lose out to a team.
Yeah.
And so I think his team is just much higher. He himself is a different type of being. But I basically was thinking if we're all together there, we will be able to advance faster and make more money faster. Advance within business, personally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of it, advance faster. And that's why I wanted to put the group together where we all helped each other grow.
Mm.
And I think it must have been 2023 around late summer. And then in 2024 is the final
Mm.
group because the first test is who shows up.
Yeah, who shows up? I remember that it was at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right, I was at a coffee shop. I was actually to be truthful, I was actually kind of nervous.
Uh-huh.
I remember I dressed up all nice because I was like I was
Nice.
giving off the persona. Oh, I'm a realtor. I'm
Yeah.
a realtor.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I forgot you're a realtor too.
Yeah.
So I came. I was nervous, and I was like, all right, gotta make a good impression. Gotta make a good impression and stuff like that.
Do you remember that first time?
Yeah,
Like what
I
we
do.
talked or what we said?
No, I remember it was me, you, and Diego. It might have been when you
Think
took us to one of your properties.
Mm-hmm. I think we did go that same day,
Yes.
potentially. I think George didn't go. Daniel might have been there.
Daniel might have been
Yeah.
there. And I remember I was thinking, man, who's this kid?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's taking me to a property he owns. He's literally like 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the heck is this guy doing that's going on? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
19-year-olds now are still playing Fortnite, or 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know
back- yeah, yeah.
25-year-olds are still playing Fortnite
Exactly.
every single day with their lives.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that.
And in the message had I mentioned that we went to Americas together?
I'm not sure. I think you did, but I brushed it off.
Yeah.
I think I brushed it off.
See, to me, that was the biggest thing. It was like, oh, this guy will come because he knows we're from Americas, or like he'll feel like it's okay to connect
Mm-hmm.
because Americas. To me, it was a huge thing. But that's interesting, yeah, because from the way you talk about it, it seems like that didn't even matter to you.
Mhm.
The fact that we both went to the same school.
Yeah.
So what attracted you to want to go to the meeting?
For me, it was when I remember you text me like, "Hey man, you're young. I see that. That's badass. You know what I mean? I think you're one of the first guys that like my age group told me that like you're young. Like I want to pick your brain in a
Let's
sense.
connect.
Because usually other people are my age were like, oh, that's cool what you're doing. I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I mean? But then you're like, man, that's badass what you're doing. We're both in real estate too. It's like I kind of thought what you thought is like man, with this guy, like we can be badass. That day come up to my mind was like, man, something can come from this.
Especially because we're so used to the young people just being like, "Oh, cool, man! Like, oh, you want to sell houses? Like, that's
Oh,
it.
that's
That's how they would
cool.
say it. It's
Yeah.
like, cool. And then that's it. And then there's no more conversation.
Yeah,
So that makes sense.
exactly. And which is why I wanted to also ask you because we're talking about how we met. You know, you already own the house since you're 19, and now you're over here raising funds, looking to commercial deals. You're 22 years old.
Yeah.
Right. You're above 90% of today's 22-year-old
Mhm.
generation. What does a typical week look for you? If that's too much because you're a busy guy, what does a typical day work for you so we can show the audience that you're doing today, you have everything scheduled, which from what I can tell, because you have a future that you're trying to get to.
Right.
I want to show them what does a typical day look for you as a hard worker in the entrepreneur / real estate world.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. So it wasn't always like this when I first started in the business. You know, you're learning like, oh, you're your own boss, so you create your own schedule. I started in 2021 February, where I read a book, right? And so reading the book then led me to start the first venture, which was a real estate wholesaling thing. And what I would do, it was COVID year, so I was a junior in high school, and I was going to school from home. And I'd play video games from home while at school. And what I would totally dedicate to was like I'd get up at 8 a.m. and then I would start working on the wholesale stuff for maybe like 2-3 hours. But I didn't know exactly. The leads would come in through Facebook, and I would just like do them. Like, oh, there's a task to do. I'm going to do the task, but I wouldn't time block. So then you fast forward. I started an Etsy business. Etsy business, same thing. As the order comes in, I go. I present the order to my manufacturer. I tell them, yo, we got to make this thing. Can you make it this size? We need 5 of them. Okay, cool. And then another order comes in. I just do the task. So my schedule was pretty free. Fast forward from there, now I'm becoming a realtor. Okay, now I have a schedule for model homes where I have to go and sit at the model home 4 times a week. That's what it was, right? I'd sit there, there's a schedule, and while I'm there, I'm maybe calling past people who've come into the model home or doing CMAs, right? And at the time, since I got my license just to start flipping, like that was the reason. I was always looking through MLS. That was the only way I knew how to look for deals. It was just every day MLS, just look for a flip. Right. And so I would just do that. Just be like, hey, I have this thing that I want to do. I'm just going to do the action that I think leads me to it. And I would do that until I joined the construction company, Paramount Construction. When I joined that, now I had a schedule because I had to make it to my appointments that were happening consistently, 4 to 5 appointments a week. And I was their sales guy. So I had to go to the appointments and sell, right? Sell a construction renovation project.
Yeah.
So now I had real estate projects for flips, and then I also had the renovation project, renovation clients. At that point, I had to start using my calendar on my phone.
And how old were you when you were doing all this again?
By this point, I'm 19. I'm 19.
19.
At this point. Yeah.
19. Real estate, construction, already getting scheduled down like a 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Like a 30-year-old man who has to do it because they have kids, they have a wife, they have family, all that stuff. Right?
And you're doing it because you want a specific future.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's a specific end goal in mind that I'm like, I think I can get here. And the book is what opened it up to like, oh, that's even possible. Like I can, if I do this, I could potentially end up here. Okay, yeah, then let's do the things that I think will get me there. Now, in 2023, I had to start creating the schedule. And so now, since then, up until now, it's a consistent theme. The details don't matter too much. It's more the structure overall of that you wake up at the same time. You got to make sure that you do the important things in the morning. I live by that because the important things, if you let them just be randomly in the day, they'll slip away. Because the rest of the day can go chaos. Things. Yeah, okay. Like it's a rule of thumb. Just anything that you consider a priority, do it in the morning.
So what's that for you?
Before 12 o'clock. So that'll be the gym.
Okay.
That'll be lead generation.
Okay.
Following up with leads. Those are income producing activities, and raising money. So in today's schedule, those are the 4 things.
Okay, those are 4 things. Yeah. Gym, lead generation, and what were the other 2?
Follow up, which has to do with leads, and then raising money.
Okay, raising money, yes.
I do underwrite the deals as well in the mornings, but lead generation is more important and comes first. So that one's more important, where if there is no leads, there's nothing for me to underwrite. So then I have to lead gen first. And then from there, the rest of the day can be chaos. I used to try to fit in the morning. And I guess I listen to the audiobook. I listen to audiobooks every morning on the way to work only, not the rest of the day, because the rest of the day, my brain's all over the place with everything else that I have to do. So I can't focus on the audiobook. But on that drive, that 20-minute drive from home to the office is perfect, 1.5 to 2 point speed. Yeah. And I get through books pretty quickly. And I reread them if I have to. Like if I really liked them and I want to get something else from them. And I used to try to get my Bible chapters read in the mornings too. It just didn't work. So the good thing with that is now I'm able to do that since I get home earlier. Before I go to bed, I have like a good 30 minutes of literally just rest time, and then I read every night now. But that's the only thing that even though it's a priority, there's perfect space for it at the bottom. And I asked God to help it fit in the schedule, and I tried to fit it in the morning. It didn't work. I asked him to fit it for me, and it seems like at night, right before bed, is when it works.
If you gotta get it in while you get it in, even if it's in the night.
And it helps me sleep.
There you
it
go.
helps me sleep, man. I
Fall
sleep very peacefully.
You're reading it, huh?
It's like it's great. I'm with you, God. Thank you.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. So that's about the theory now is just make sure you get the priority stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Because the rest of your day, the excuse that I hear a lot is like, I don't have time.
I don't have time. I'm too busy.
I'm too busy.
I'm too
Stuff
busy.
comes up. It's so random. And it's like, yes, it does. Correct. And it'll always be like that. And that can either be your reason for not doing the things you want to do,
Exactly. Yep.
or you work around it by knowing that it's going to happen and you plan for it.
Yeah.
And now your days actually feel productive and are productive.
Yeah. One thing that Alex Hormozy says that I like is that when he's selling to a person, but this we can all apply it to our lives, is when he comes up with the objection of, man, it's 'cause I'm too busy. And he said that, well, do it when you're busy, because if you wait until you're not busy, you're assuming you're never going to get busy again. So if you kill it when you're busy, when you don't become as hectic and stuff like that, you're going to kill it. So if you get busy again and you're still doing what you want to do, you're like, oh, I already been through this. I already know how it feels. So if you make it work when you're busy, when you're not busy, you're going to kill it.
It's going to be easy.
So exactly like
That's
you
good.
said, you fit it in when you're busy. So let's say you're, jobs doing well, you're getting paid a lot, and now you're less busy. Now you can focus even more on that
thing that you wanted to do.
Exactly.
That's pretty good. I hadn't heard that. That's a good objection in there.
Yeah, it is pretty good. So you guys got just a sales training podcast. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Hormozy sponsors.
Yeah. So all throughout you're saying is make sure that you get your income producing activities in. You have it scheduled. Anything after 12 is for hectic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it can get hectic. It might be calm, and that's okay. But it can also get hectic, and that's okay.
And you end around 5 p.m.?
Yeah, 5.
5 p.m.
Now I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you were explaining that story, you went from wholesaling to, and then you said realtor, just like that.
Yeah.
So that's a real estate. You just went into realtor. So why realtor? Why real estate? Actually, why real estate? You could have done absolutely anything else.
Yeah.
What I know you talked about it a little bit. I want you to go more into depth of real estate. Why real estate? There's thousands of other things
that I
could
could
have
have
done.
done.
Yeah.
That you'd think, especially because when I was 12, 13, I was like, I don't care about land at all. I don't care about buildings.
You
None of that.
care about toys and stuff.
Yeah,
until something was real
something
estate.
changed, right?
Real estate. Why?
Now that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, showed me that there's a way to wealth. I always wanted to be rich. I just always wanted. I never thought about like cars and things like that. It was more like I just wanted enough money, for freedom, always. But I just thought, well, the only way to do that is to be a doctor, or be Jeff Bezos, like be a founder of a huge company like that. I thought those were the two reasons, the two ways. And I'm like, I'm not going to school for 12 years after already going to school for 12 years. Yeah. And I'm also not smart enough or creative enough to do what Jeff Bezos did. So I eliminated the chance of me ever. And so that's the first step. Mindset wise, you have to, anything that's blocking you. For me, that's what it was. It's just simply that I thought I couldn't do what they did. I just didn't think it was possible for me. I thought I was too ordinary, too normal. The way I got around that, it was specifically knowing that he's just a human as well, just like I am. And if he can do it, I can do it. At that point, reading the book really helped because it showed me a way to get really wealthy. It's not that it's easy, but it's simple. It's like a straightforward path. Yeah. If you're committed and disciplined for a couple of years in real estate and you endure the lows and take advantage of the highs, you will be really well off. The longer you do it, even better. And so that's where I was like, wow. And then I got into the numbers of refinances, of how you can you can invest money. If you buy it right, you can take all the money out, but the asset is still yours. It makes money for you. Someone else pays the debt down. On paper, you can report less money because of depreciation, even though you made money on it that year. And the money that I refinanced out, I can put into another one. And so to me, that was like, oh, I'm recycling money. I'm just recycling the same money over and over again. And that will allow me to grow even faster. You don't have to do that to grow, but it'll let you grow so much faster by using the same money over and over and over again. And what it takes is just knowledge to know what that means and how to do it, and then you do it, right? And you're going to learn as you go, but you read books and you talk to people. It gives you the confidence that you can do it now. You don't have to wait till you have 50K in the bank, right? You can do it with zero.
So that book did wonders.
It's
when you
insane.
open that book, now your life changed after that.
Yeah, and I've read the book like 4 or 5 times now. Yeah. I have to go back to it. It's one of those books that I like to read once a year.
You got to give him a personal thanks and a personal thank you letter.
Oh, I plan to eventually be at dinner with him. And
there you go.
Let him know.
There you go. There you can.
He's getting a bit old, which is tough.
He's
like 84.
He has other books. Have you read any other of his books?
I've read all of them.
All of them? No way. That's your favorite one? Is Rich Dad Poor Dad?
The very first one. Yeah, the other ones are a bit repeated. content. It just says it in different ways.
Okay.
So they do have little and the other books are much longer too. So I've read all of them, and they as I'm going through them, I'm like, oh, okay, I already knew that. And then there'll be like one little thing that's pretty good, just one, and it's like worth it to read the whole book. But I had to read the whole book just to find that thing. So I stopped rereading those, and I just reread Rich Dad Poor Dad. The other ones is like Cash Flow Quadrant, Retire Young, Retire Rich, that kind of thing. And you would think, oh, Retire Young, Retire Rich. That sounds really good. It's a very intriguing title, but it talks about almost the same things that it talks about in Rich Dad Poor Dad. So Rich Dad is the one I recommend the most to get started because it opened my mind so much.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Got it. Okay, I have read the book. It is a pretty good book.
Yeah.
I feel like what isn't talked about too much was in that book was the lows. A lot of the lows as a personal.
He does
level.
not.
More just like become rich. You know what I mean? Which is good. Yes, yes, it's good to open the mind. Which goes to my next question is, real estate. No one really talks about the lows. More like 2008. Whatever.
Yeah.
But on a personal level, have you ever been to a point where you were about to quit, asking yourself, "Is this for me?" You're straight out of high school, started this early. Is this for me? Further down the road, did you ask yourself that question? Were you so close to quitting? But then, and if so, what stopped you from quitting?
There's never been a point where I thought it wasn't gonna work. So mentally, I just always knew like there's only one way. I do believe in burning all the bridges. You can't have a plan A, B, and C, because if you have a plan B, it means you don't fully believe in plan A. If you have a plan C, you don't fully believe in plan A. So once I chose real estate because of the love and passion for it, there's never been a doubt in my mind that I'm going to make it. Now, there has been times throughout, especially over the last 2 years, 2025. Well, let's say last year, 2025, where I'm thinking, is real estate the industry to achieve the goals I want to achieve? Right? Like that I have thought. Not necessarily that it's because it's not working, but is there a faster way? Like, is there a faster way?
Not that the money's coming in, but more like, is there a different way I can 10x this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and take people with me faster without having to wait so long, because real estate in general is a longer cycle. It takes longer for you to get to the lows and get to the highs. But if you withstand it over 3 decades, it's really, really good. Like you can super benefit, but it's 3 decades. Compared to you look at tech, it's a year. It's 3 years, it's 4 years, maybe 10 years in the making, but then that's it. Like you rode it all the way to the top type of thing. And from there, just consistently up. Yeah. So there's never been that one significant moment that made me question. And I want to say that it's partly because I'm too stubborn. So even if
that's a good thing,
someone tried to like kick me out, I'd be like, nah,
I'm staying here.
Yeah, this is where this is it.
So is it more like an anger or mentality that you're just like, I'm gonna stay, or what do you think it is?
I think I'm missing some parts in my brain.
Oh, okay. No, you're definitely missing some parts in your brain.
I think I'm missing something because I don't know. To me, for example, when I started meeting more people, I started realizing like there were certain things that people would complain about that they didn't like doing, and I didn't like doing it either, but I would never complain. I would just do it.
You just do it.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, I thought it was normal to just do the things you didn't like. As I remember, people would complain and don't do it.
That's not a you don't hear that a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was normal. So like when I would do different chores, or when I would do different homework things, it was things that I hated to do, and I would just do it because I'm like, I have no option. I have to do it. Which in one way is a good thing because it leads me to be like, even a hard situation to me is like, this is normal. I would just look at a hard situation as this is the way it is, and I'm gonna do it. And therefore, it helps me not feel any pain because this is the path. Like, oh, this is the path. So I have to go through this if I want to get to the rest of the path. And that's helped me. And I've met people, and I'm like, and so at first I would think people are so weak. What the heck? Why are you giving up? Like, what? Yeah. But then I started meaning that actually most people think of it more like when it is hard and when the going gets tough, they quit or they complain about it and try to. And to me, the complaint doesn't even come to my brain.
Wow.
Right.
That's a good.
It's good. I was born that way, and so it was like, thanks to God, So that's one of the gifts that I think He gave me. But I have to be aware that not every gift is perfect, because now what that also means is innovation is harder for me, because if I go through something that is difficult, my brain doesn't go to, is there an easier way to do this? Some people's brain goes to, this is hard, I quit. This is hard, is there a better way to do it? I don't think like that
Interesting.
naturally. So I need people around me who think like that, because they will be the ones who say, "Hey, I know you want to just go that way and you just want to endure, but maybe there's a better way." And then now I can start thinking, okay, there's a better way. So I
Yeah.
have to force myself to think, is there
Yeah.
a better way?
And I feel like that's why we might get along so well is
Mm-hmm.
because people would say like, "Oh, why do you always agree with Estrada?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, actually, I think I'm the one that fights with him the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you'll say something like, "No, there's an easier." For me, it's actually the complete opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I hate doing things, so what's an easier way to
Yeah.
do it?
What's the better way?
That was my way of
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah.
Is what's an easier way of going? Because I remember with my mom, she'd get mad at me for that. Because
Yeah.
I feel like
She wants you to do it a certain way.
yes, a certain way, which
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean? For me, what's an easier way where I can
Mm-hmm.
instead of 10 times energy to get 10 times profit, or you
Right.
know, it's 2 times energy to get 10 times profit. It's
Right.
cool sometimes that bit me in the back where I'll
Right.
just cheat. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You
Sure.
know, that obviously don't cheat or don't break the law in the future, but
Right.
you eventually start applying those skills different ways. But I feel like maybe that's why you and me get along, but also at the same time
We'll clash heads
we'll
sometimes.
clash heads. But that's a good thing.
Right.
In business, everyone thinks that clashing head is a bad thing. Sometimes you need someone that doesn't just agree with you all the time.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think Bill Gates had said something about that. He looks for the when he's interviewing, he'll look for the laziest person, because the laziest person will look for the easiest way to get something done. Which
Well,
means
don't call me lazy
you know,
too.
it might be the
Right?
cheapest. Hey, if it comes from Bill Gates, the founder of
fine.
Microsoft,
Okay,
it's a
fine.
compliment.
Okay, fine.
But and then when I heard of that is when it clicked.
Yeah.
That was probably like 2 years ago, where it clicked very little. Where I was just like, huh. So Bill Gates looks for the laziest. Why? And I was like, damn, that's interesting, because yeah, that person might find it might be a little bit more expensive to do it that way, but it's faster because he was lazier and he wanted to do it in a faster way, which provides more profit, and it just makes it easier. And why am I going to spend 10 years on something if there's a way to do it in 5, right? So I think some people it's a laziness. Other people it's just like, why am I dealing with something so difficult? I think that's where you're at. Like, you're just like, I mean, this is just not smooth. It could be smoother. So let's find a smoother way.
Yeah.
And you do need both types of people, because then you'll help me when I'm stuck on something that it seems like to you it's going to seem like this is pointless. To me, it's like, this is the way. And then I'll help you when it's like, if you're thinking like, hey, we're going to have to switch paths.
And you're like, no, we got
like,
this.
no, this one's good.
Push a
Trust
little
me.
more. Yeah, which is good. Yeah, it's good too. That's why you need that phases. That's why you go through friends sometimes that work out or don't work out until you find that boom, that clash.
Exactly.
And you're talking about, yeah, you know what I mean, you've never really had a failure, or you know, because your personality.
Right.
Well, you've had failures.
100%. But I don't consider anything a failure unless you give up.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Is you've never really had a failure unless you give up.
Mm.
Because my next question goes to, what's a failure that's changed your mind forever? But for you, like in a sense, you answered it 50-50. It's not a failure, it's a lesson. So let me change my question up. What's a lesson / failure?
Yeah.
But more of it, just lean more towards on the failure side. Is
Yeah.
that's changed the way you think forever. Like since that's happened.
Yeah.
What's a lesson that you've learned?
Let's say the most recent one, actually, not business related, and you can apply it. It's life related.
Okay.
Is life. The lesson that was learned was life isn't, or cannot only be about one thing. Because it'll cause you to lose everything else. If you are okay with that, it's okay. If you're okay with losing everything else in your life being one thing, then that's fine. And you will be very successful in that one thing. But when your goal is to be well-rounded with other things, you can't just make it the one thing, because you will lose them in the process. So in this case, it's like people, for example, you can't neglect them.
Yeah.
There's a balance to it where you can still focus on your one thing the majority of the time, but there's still a very good balance, healthy balance around. And so that one, for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, I had been thinking that way. Like, no, it's totally normal for me to go on to this 100%, giving everything else, or call it technically, if there's only 100% of me for me, like to give 90% to this, and the other 10, I would split it like 1% physical health, 1% this, 1% that, 1% that. And I was very strict with it. I thought, totally fine. But my goal was to have all these other things in my future be totally good.
Yeah.
But you can't necessarily expect that the relationship with your friends is going to be awesome in 10 years if for 10 years you gave them 1% of you.
Mm,
they're gonna find other friends,
interesting. Okay.
right? And so then now it's changed where it's like the goal should be depending on you. If your goal is to have the one thing, that's okay, but you have to define that first. For for me, I've defined that no, I want all of it to be good in 10 years because I'm working so hard on this so that in 10 years I have all this around me. So that means I have to give it enough attention from here till
Okay.
then to make sure it's available.
Okay. Interesting. Well, what I've heard also too, maybe that can apply to just the friend part, is that
Mm-hmm.
the higher quality friends you have,
Yeah.
the less they're gonna need from you because they're busy. You know what I mean?
Oh
So they
yes.
understand that. So
Yeah.
maybe not 1%, but you're gonna find those friends that need 3%. They're like, yo, I can see you in a year and we'll still be
We'll
good.
still be good.
Yeah, maybe
That's
that can
true.
apply to other things, but I
That's
think
true.
what you learned from that is you found that balance. Like, okay,
Yeah.
friends, I got yeah. Now, yeah, I'm sure your friends are different since you're in high school.
Yeah.
You have new friends or old friends or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then also personal stuff like those. Just now you know how to treat a specific family member and this
Right.
and that. That's
Like
what you're
what they
saying. You
need.
learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
And for example, like everyone has different love languages.
Yeah.
And so if you take the time to find out what that person's love language is, you might not have to dedicate 10 hours a week to them. It's just you do that thing just like once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates that relationship where it's enough to the point where after those 5 years, once you're able to fully give them more because you want to give them more, the relationship was actually strengthened throughout, all because you took the time at first to learn their love language, for example. And that's with people, right? But like you said, it does apply to the other things
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like fitness and things like that.
It's good. That's good. A lot of wisdom that I'm getting here. So since you have experience, you have of course knowledge that you're above people your age now. So let's say someone's new, starting new in, let's say, beginning in real estate. Beginning in real estate, someone's new. What do you see a lot of, or what do you see a lot of beginners that are getting into real estate?
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest mistake you see that they're doing?
Mm. Now, I do want to clarify one
Go
thing
ahead.
there. You said that like people my age that I have I'm above, and in certain things, yes, like real estate. You could say that most 22-year-olds, right?
Mhm.
But in general, the way I like to look at that is I I can learn something from everyone, not just business. So like I
Yeah.
could learn something from a different part of life from someone who is that 22-year-old that just plays video games.
Yeah.
There's something they could probably teach me, and so that allows me to stay open to still want to meet with them.
Yeah.
Or if I see them, not completely shun them out, which is something I used to do a lot. It
Yeah.
was like, you're not at my level.
Yeah.
And I would just,
Well, I feel like that's maybe your lesson to the beginners then, is keep an open mind no matter who they are.
no matter, yeah, that would be.
Would you say that was like maybe your
Not real estate related, but in life,
like
in general.
we can do a
I would
life thing
think,
too,
you
yeah.
know? Now, for real estate, though, the mistakes that they're making,
Beginners is say,
like,
let's say, since I know real estate is a broader question,
uh-huh.
say more. The trend now. What I've been seeing is I'll become a wholesaler millionaire. So I'll say let's reach more towards any wholesalers or people wanting to start getting into investing in real estate. What's the biggest
Okay.
mistake you see them doing?
Yeah. So biggest mistake for people who want to get into like investing, it's gonna have to be not assembling the correct team. So the correct team is not necessarily like you need a bunch of sales guys. It's more of you're the salesperson. You got to go find your deal, but make sure you have a good contractor, and make sure you have a good lender. And if you're gonna hold the property, make sure you have a good property manager.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have all three, it allows you to flip it in confidence, knowing that you're gonna have a good loan in place and a good contractor to flip.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end, someone to manage the asset for you. I learned that from a book, and so I got that when I read it. I was 18.
What book was that?
It was the Burr Method.
The Burr Method.
Yeah,
Interesting.
by David Green. He was the one of the founders of the Bigger Pockets podcast.
Yeah.
And so in there, he said, "Hey, the way you successfully do this is get these three going: the property manager, the lender, and the contractor. If you get all three, it makes and when these people making mistakes is that they do the flip and then like, I hate it, I'm never doing this again. And then I look at their team and it's like, yeah, you went with the cheapest contractor.
Yeah.
Or hey, you went with the hard money lender who's a shark. Like he charged you 14%.
Bad.
And then you didn't have a property manager, so you managed it yourself.
I lost some money here and this and that. Yeah.
And then now it's a headache and now you hate real estate. And that mindset now prevents you from building that wealth 10 years down the line where you have 15, 20 properties paid off that you can now pass on to the
Mhm.
next generation. But it's a mindset there where it's like, man, I messed up once and I'm done. But they don't see it as they messed up. They just see that flipping sucks. All
Mm.
because they didn't have the right people
Right
around them.
people, right team. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true because a lot of people in real estate quit because, oh man, it's too hard. Well, it's
Mhm.
hard because you don't have the right team.
Mhm.
But I see a lot of young realtors out there is quitting because they don't have the right team or they're not at the right brokerage. That's why even at your education, they tell you
Yeah.
make sure you interview and find the right brokerage.
Yeah.
It's okay to switch.
I don't think here in El Paso they it's because that's the thing. It's just it's the whole thing. El Paso's mindset is just behind,
Mhm.
where even the people who are telling you that it is the correct thing to tell, but they don't emphasize it enough. It's so important to find the people you know, in our terms, vibe with, right?
Mhm.
So important because it might be a really good brokerage, but you might have not vibed with the person you interviewed with, and then but because it's a really good brokerage, you still join. And so
Mhm.
then now the person you interviewed with, like what they told you and stuff, it doesn't click. And if they're the ones representing the company and that's the rest of the vibe, just because it's a really good company doesn't mean it's the company for you.
Mhm.
And you can't find the company for you until you go and meet
Yeah.
different people.
Yeah.
So that's another thing where, like, El Paso in general, people telling you that, they don't emphasize it enough because they don't know how important it really is to connect with the correct people.
Yeah, it's like you could say you're dating a girl, it goes bad, you're like, okay, I'm never gonna date in my life again.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, so guys don't do
Exactly.
that. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. You got to give multiple chances.
Exactly. Well, since we're talking about beginners,
Mhm.
beginners starting new things, you're giving them advice.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you have a time travel machine.
Yeah.
You go back in time.
Yeah.
You see your 18-year-old self again.
Yeah.
But you can only tell him 3 words. What would you tell him? It's okay to take that one.
I'm gonna use 2 words.
2 words.
Yeah. I'd go back in time. And I would tell myself, go bigger.
Go bigger. Okay.
That's it. Go bigger. Period.
And why is that?
The El Paso thing. Small mindset. So I was thinking at the time, it's like, well, actually, I didn't know anything else existed. I don't know what office buildings, whatever. I just knew houses, flips, because the people I knew were in business, that's what they did. So that's all I knew. But then as I'm going through, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do this for a bit and then transition. You don't need one to do the other. It's all a mindset thing. And even then, after that, El Paso specifically has a small mindset. So if no one tells you, you're never gonna know that you are capable of more, right?
Okay.
Like there's now you're leaving it up to chance that you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The good thing is, as you're doing things, you'll kind of will realize it. You know, if God has it in His will and it's His plan for you, you will realize it at some point that you can do bigger. Now, sometimes maybe His plan is for you to actually stay at the house level, for example, because He has a specific plan for you. That's okay. In my case, I've always felt like I have something to give. I just haven't figured out what it is. And since I was 14, 15, I just didn't know and I still don't know what it is. I still don't know exactly what it is. Something to give, and but to give it on a large scale. So it might be plain and simple. Actually, is just spreading the word. When you have a big platform, you can spread it to a lot more people.
Yeah.
So, getting a big platform, getting big, and being able to have access to bigger platforms is more money. And so, what I would tell myself to go bigger so that the mentality wouldn't be that I have to go through these small things to get to the big things. I can just skip all of that and just get to the big things. Especially, like, some people think they have to be a realtor to flip. Some people think they need to be a wholesaler first to flip, right? I did skip those first steps. I just went straight to flipping. I became a realtor, but I'm pretty sure I bought my first deal before I closed my first. I think I closed one of my dad's, right? But my first client separately, I bought the house first before I closed the first client. Because in my mind, and that's how I have proof that it's all a mentality. In my mind, you didn't need closing experience, transaction experience. You didn't need money.
Or a lot of money, yeah.
You
a
would
lot of
just
people.
do
I
the
thought that
flip.
too
Just
when
do the
you told
flip.
me you don't need any money. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I bought this house for $500. I was like, what?
Yeah. And all that was a mentality of just like where I didn't know, there was no objection in my mind saying like, oh no, I have to go through certain things. I can just go straight flip. But that works for everything. You can go straight from, I don't have to do I don't have to be super famous so that I can go become an actor. No, you can just go straight become an actor. There's a whole path to becoming the actor,
I
but
see.
you don't have to already
Okay.
have a platform on Instagram or YouTube or something, right? If
Okay.
people are thinking that, for example.
Okay, got it.
So those would be the words.
Nice, go bigger. I like it. So going back to the time traveling.
Mm.
Now, I know it's an odd question, but well, not odd, but curious. Is now you have a time travel machine again. Now you go 50 years into the future,
Mm.
and you could only ask your future self one question. What
Oh,
would
no,
you
I'm asking
ask?
a question.
Now you're asking a question, and they'll give you an answer to it.
So I'm 22. I'd be 72.
70. You've done it all, basically. You've done it all.
Yeah.
Retired. Boom. Kids, grandkids, possibly grandkids. Rest.
Yeah, imagine that.
Great
Yeah.
grandkids.
That'd be nice. I have like two, and I'm like trying to pick
You gotta choose one.
which one would be the best. You know, before I had a meeting with a lender, a real estate lender,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a week and a half ago, and in that conversation, it started off. It was a business meeting, business appointment. The first hour we talked business. The second 2 hours we talked about God, and in those 2 hours, I had this just like this feeling of surrendering, like 100%. And I was telling him like I had already been no actually in the moment I didn't know what I was feeling, so I didn't say anything there. But I know on the car drive back I was trying to say like why did I feel different compared to because I thought I was already surrendered, like I thought I already had full faith,
Mm-hmm.
um and I did mentally I knew he was real. I know he's real. I know he's there, and I know he's been looking out for us, and everything is because of him and all that. But when you fully surrender is when you feel it. It's when you fully surrender through your heart and through your soul and through your mind,
Mm.
right? All three have to be surrendered. And then that's when the spirit is you actually feel it. Um, and in that conversation, I got to surrender.
Wow.
And it felt extremely good. And I compared it to like when I first found out that real estate and I believed in real estate super working, I wouldn't stop talking about it. Like for the first 2 years, all day, every day, no matter who it was, I would just talk real estate, investing, flipping, investing, refinancing, using the money again, refinancing, using the money, Burr method, everything. That's all I would talk about. And that's because I had full faith in that works for creating wealth over time. And I associated that with like when someone fully believes in something with their heart, mind, and soul, they cannot stop talking about it. And there's a couple of people in my life that's all they do. They just talk about God. And I'm like, those are the people that's what truly surrendered looks like. I do believe I will be able to surrender even more and more every single day, every week, every month, every year. And I'm going to be getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And every time I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't even know I could get this much closer to you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. But what I felt then was like, was crazy. And I bring that up because I would have asked myself something business related. Right. And now I'm thinking more like, no, I would ask what I would ask myself, what did we do to help bring more people closer to the kingdom of God?
Wow.
And can I do it sooner?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we did it when I was 50, 40, is there a way to do it at 30? Is there a way to do it at 22? And that way when I come back, I just start doing it now. So that would be the question. And I started thinking now too, the reason that I don't have everything in this world that I want to have is because my priorities are all wrong. Right? It's got to be God. But not just mentally where I know, oh yeah, I have to pray more to him and all that stuff. No, it's like you have to fully surrender to him. And only then, if it's in his will he give you everything you want. Like technically, even though I'm only 22, 5 years in, I could have a Lambo now. Let's say I really want that here. So I'm like, God, please give it to me, right? Please, please, please. Like, make me earn it. Make me deserve it by doing whatever it is you have to have me do. But that is the wrong way. It should be more that I'm fully surrendered to you because I believe in you as the being that you are. Not because you'll give me what I want if I give you this love, but just because the type of way that you are is the type of person that I want to be with for the rest of my life. And these 80 years, 90 years that I'm going to be here on earth don't matter at all. It doesn't matter what these 90 years look like. Everything could go whatever way. What I care about is that I'm with you for eternity afterward.
There you go.
And if you actually think that way and you fully surrender and believe that way, at that point, he knows your love for him is real. and then he'll give you whatever it is that you ask for. Just to show you, like, dude, I love you. Those 80 years, I want you to have a good time. So here you go, and he'll give it to you, all because he knows you are now only looking forward to this. You can still enjoy everything he gives you here. That's fine because it's a temporary teaser type of thing. Because the real thing, the real happiness, the real fulfillment comes in the afterlife with him. And ever since I had that meeting, everything's been a lot easier now. Like all the negatives, the positives, whatever. It's just the positives are a little less positive now, and the negatives are less negative because all I'm thinking about is him. And so it's worked. And one piece of advice there is you have to hang out with those people. Like, his name is Mauro. He's the lender. You have to hang out with those people often, just like you would hang out with business people often to keep your motivation going for business. If you want to keep your motivation for God up, one way to keep it up is hang out with those people that all they do is talk about that. And so Kendrick is one of them. Kendrick is one, and Mauro. Those are the two that I feel like have fully surrendered. But and to me it feels that way, but maybe they're only 80% of the way there. Maybe they're only 70. But if you notice, when you ask Kendrick about how he's doing, he never talks about, oh yeah, business is good. Oh yeah, stocks are good. Or at least me, whenever I've asked him, maybe I'm not close enough with him. But whenever I've asked him, he always just goes God. He goes to God. The only way he'll bring up business is if I ask him directly, how is real estate going? Then he'll bring it up. Compared to me, you ask me, how am I doing? And I think business.
Business.
I should not.
Yeah.
I should think God. And only if it goes into specifics, then I can talk about
the rest.
Because then you're not fully surrendered. If your first thought is not God, you're not fully surrendered.
Interesting. So that's your question that you would ask him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say he's like, yeah, man, this and that's good. Now, you get one more question, because I was curious. You said 2 questions. You had 2 questions. I'm sure the other one's business.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Like, oh, did I hit my goal?
Basically,
was that it?
No.
Oh, interesting.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
No.
Is Marco still in my life? That better be the second question.
No, actually, I envisioned myself, and we were both.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay. I don't have to ask anymore.
We were on the porch on swinging chairs.
Oh yeah.
And our kids were playing.
Whoa, guys.
No. Our wives are there, bro.
Okay.
But your kids and my kids are playing.
Okay. See, there you go. Yeah. There you go. That's good. That's good. On the big lot, dogs running around, kids running around. Beautiful. We got beautiful wives.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Well, that's good. That was a good. I'm glad you gave that. It was very well thought out. I would have never guessed. You actually caught me by surprise. For me, I also thought business. I thought spiritual as well. Like, if someone asked me that.
Yeah.
I thought business, but then you're right. It's, how am I doing? Am I doing good in the kingdom of God? If I'm not, I'll change that. Like, so you don't have any regrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're right. I mean, you could ask business. You can change the world business, but if you change the world spiritual, you change their eternities.
It's
other than 100
infinitely better.
years. Exactly.
Infinitely better.
Exactly. That's good. I'm glad you brought that up. But moving back on, so let's say now that we're talking spiritual, business, whatever, you can answer this question however way you want. Okay, so we talked about real estate, what advice you would give to them. So to the people that are watching this now, if someone is thinking about starting something big, as you say, go bigger. Someone's thinking about starting something, real estate or not, but feels unsure. What would you actually tell them to do this month? Like, just do this. Just do this month, or tomorrow, today, whatever, or later in the month. What would you tell them? They were thinking about doing something big.
I think the thing that would help them advance the quickest and feel the most confident, which is the key. If it's something big, you might feel kind of that you're not prepared, right? I think the best thing there would be do research into who in your town is doing the thing you want to do, and do whatever you can to get a meeting with them. Because then you're getting actual perspective in it. It's not a ChatGPT answer. It is not a Google article. It is not a book that was written 5 years ago. It is the now. What's happening in the now. And not only that, you connected with someone doing it. So now maybe there's a way for you to get in. So that would be the way to do it. That'd be what I would do. And it's what I'm currently doing for the multifamily.
Yeah, which not a lot of people understand, which is good. I tell a lot of people, man, I want to get this job. I want to get here. I want to get there. But man, it's because they're not taking, because I don't have experience, or they're not taking this. And one thing also bringing him up again is Alex. And saying again is, well, have you tried telling that person you work for them for free? No one really, not a
No.
lot of people will turn down free work.
Right.
Oh, it's because I won't be getting money. Okay.
Okay. I thought you really wanted to do that.
Really
thing.
wanted to do it. So that's also what a lot of people, I wanted to add on to that. Not a lot of people, if you can't get in the same room with that person,
Mm-hmm.
you offer them to work for them for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sometimes work again, or doing the things you don't want.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Doing the things you don't want to do to get the things you want.
Exactly.
Like you
Yeah.
said, just do
Yeah.
whatever you can to get in that room with them, which
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be the fastest way for you to like start to see results and also feel confidence within yourself
Mm-hmm.
because now you got information straight from the source.
Yeah.
Um, and so it'll help you for your next step
Yeah.
because they can direct you to your next step. You can be like, okay, I did this, I love it. You're not hiring right now. You don't want a free executive assistant. What do you recommend I do that? I'm serious about this. If they are serious about what they do, they will easily give you the next 10 things
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that was all my questions. I don't know if you have any
Yeah.
questions for me. Got the
Yeah.
comments.
No, I think they were good. I think they were
Awesome.
really good questions.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Well, this is this was a great interview. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you want to see more content like this, you know, or any recommendations you want to see that or you want us to talk about, leave a comment in the below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us. We are Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, well, X now. We're gonna be posting these on Spotify as well. So if you can't listen to it on YouTube or don't want to get the ads, we'll be posting these on Spotify. But other than that, you guys have a good one. God bless, and we'll see you guys on the next one.